Kathy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we got tons of people on here today. We're super excited to have everybody aboard. My name is Jim Schimpf. I know most of you as I saw the names coming aboard on the chat. And I guess we'll take a couple seconds. This is where you see us in the bottom right-hand corner. This is PostcardsPLUS, Opportunity Knocks headquarters down in Bradenton, Florida. Hi, everybody. You know, you remember, obviously everybody knows Andy. Steve Puccinella is our Director of Digital Marketing over there on this side. And Christian Grisanti, which most of you have not met, but you have talked to many, many times. He's over in the corner there. Say hello, Christian. So this is us here. We're in our conference room. Nice and beautiful day, 94 degrees, humid. Summer is here in Tampa, Florida. I want to introduce Michael Carpenter, and if we could put the chat back on Michael. Michael is coming to us live on the west coast of California here from Google HQ headquarters on one of the many campuses up in the Bay Area. And so we're super excited to have this hangout. This is our first time hanging out with Google. So you'll have to excuse any technological challenges that we may have. We're just going to grind through it. Our number one objective today is we're going to spend about an hour with you guys. Michael's going to do probably more than 50% of the talking, with the objective being, you know, telling you guys a little bit more about the partnership between Google and Opportunity Knocks, and more importantly about Google's digital technology. Some of you from the show had signed up for our new Postcards Plus program. I want to thank you very much for doing that. We're in the middle of getting you guys processed through and getting your first orders out. And some of you that either missed the show or didn't have a chance to stop by our booth, we'll talk about that program at the end and give you an opportunity to get on board with that program too. But without further ado, we're gonna turn the ball over to Michael Carpenter. And then if you guys could do us a favor, on the right-hand side, you should see a group chat going on. If you don't see that window, you can go to the left-hand side of your screen, and up in the top left, you'll see a blue call-out icon that says chat. You just click on that, and your group chat will come up. If you scroll to the top of the chat, Steve, if you could go to the top, what we're going to do is you'll see this blue link that Michael put up into the chat at 1:42 p.m. For any questions that you may have during this hour, if you could click on that document, click on that link, it's going to take you to a document where you can enter your question. We're recording this for today, as well as all of the questions that may pop up too, so that we can send those back out to everybody so that you can pay close attention and learn a lot today and not have to worry about taking too many notes relative to the answers to those questions. So the only other thing that I will say, if we could get your cooperation on, I think Mike has done a great job as you've entered in to put your, he's muted you so that we can cut down on the echoing, we can cut down on the bandwidth, and give 100% attention to Michael. So if you could help by doing that, if we haven't done that so far, then that would be great. So any questions, go to the link, type in your question, and we'll go from there. I see that we've got 3 people saying that all we're seeing is a black screen with a Start HP Media.
You go ahead and click on this screen here.
Okay, so for those people that are seeing that, if you could go to the bottom of the screen and click on the black icon that says.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, hang on a second. Can they click on Michael?
Okay. Yeah. So, Mike, when we click on the Cesar chat icon at the very bottom, it actually shows HP Media Smart Webcam. Is there any way that you can ensure that everyone can click on that icon and see you while you're speaking and presenting?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, so everyone seems to be not able to see you. They're just seeing a black screen right now, HP Media Smart Webcam. And I'll do a quick screen share and show you. So basically,
and that's actually, I believe that is Kathy's, or is that? So basically, on the bottom of the screen, when you see all the pictures, anytime you click on one of those, you're seeing that person, or you're seeing anything like that. There, on the very far right should be me there, or you'll see my picture. You can click on either one of those because that will be where the presentation is going to appear. And yes, if you turn off your cameras as well, that would help with bandwidth, because even though here I don't have a problem with bandwidth, it doesn't mean that in your areas there may be some issues. So anybody, if you can turn off your cameras there, then that will help others in the group as well.
That says they see you now.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. Okay. So along the bottom portion of the screen, you should see what looks like breakfast pancakes with some berries on it. That's going to be where the presentation is actually going to be showing. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off my camera here just to also help conserve bandwidth for the presentation.
So once again, everybody, look for the icon at the bottom that has the pancakes and blueberries, and that'll give you access to the presentation.
And Steve, also while I'm going through this, I'm not going to be able to see the chat window. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to stop me, and we can get those answered.
okay, perfect.
All right. Okay, so my name is Mike Carpenter, as I was introduced just a moment ago. I am with Google. I'm with Google's agency support team. I work with partner agencies around the world that have basically come to Google and have proven to us that they can meet best practices, that they know how to build out campaigns, and that ultimately they're an agency that we would want to partner with because of their success and their values. So ProspectsPLUS is one of those agencies. Congratulations to them. So I want to first talk a little bit, just introduce myself. I've been with Google now for about 2.5 years. I've been with the agency team, working specifically with AdWords for just about a year now. So I'm still fairly new. When I first actually came onto Google, it was kind of an interesting story. If you've ever seen the movie The Internship, there are things like that do occur for developers and stuff like that. Mine was a little bit different because Google has chosen unique ways to basically pick its employees because of the number of applicants that we receive. So one thing, how I was actually brought on was I was responding to an article for a tech job. I had no idea what company it was with. I came into an interview. It was kind of an unmarked building, kind of a weird scenario there. I went through a couple different interviews, and then upon being hired, I was basically taken through a door and said, welcome to Google. Let's get you started in the training program. So it's kind of a cloak and dagger kind of deal, but it was kind of an interesting story, so I thought I'd share that with you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation here. Now, this is going to be our agenda, kind of the things that we're going to cover here. Obviously, since I'm from Google, we're going to be talking about the online aspect. I know you're familiar with ProspectsPLUS and some of the offerings that they have. So this is just another offering, another service that they provide going through Google. And so I just wanted to kind of touch on that for the next half hour here or so. So today we're going to talk about online advertising and why it's crucial for small businesses, and why now is the right time. We'll also be talking about solutions that Google offers and how Google can help grow your business and help capture more clients for you. Lastly, we'll be talking about the benefits of working with a partner agency like PostcardsPLUS. This overall shouldn't take more than about 30 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and open everything up to questions. Let's go ahead and move on here. Okay, so why online? I mean, it's no surprise, especially within the last 5 years, we've seen a large change in the way that we view media and in the way that our media consumption is being captured by consumers. So, I mean, for example, just to give you an example of mobile phones, the smartphone over the past 5 years has almost tripled the amount of users that search the web via their phone rather than a desktop or laptop. People, or consumers I should say, are fully in control now. They can see what they want to see, when they want to see it, how they want to see it, whether it be on Netflix, YouTube, on cable. They can now communicate back with businesses through mediums such as Google+, Twitter, Facebook. There's any number of different things, and I'm sure that most of you have used those things. So how does Google fit into that space? And namely, how does AdWords fit into that space? And if you're not familiar with AdWords, I can go in after this presentation. We can kind of show you a little bit about what that is. So when you're advertising, for example, on like a billboard or medium like that, it's difficult to track the results of the client base that's coming to you to determine the positive or negative ROI on that product. With Google AdWords, it's something that can be done very simply because everything is handled in real time. So there's real insights in real time. You can target to the right audience. You can even target as far as to income level, which would be relevant, I guess, to your industry and the design industry. You can target based on demographic information, just geo-targeting and whatnot. You can also target to specific areas, universities, and things like that that probably wouldn't be as relevant. You can also use different ways and different mediums to immerse a prospective client in your story and tell them about why they should use you, what differentiates you from your competitors. And you can also get meaningful reporting so you can actually determine if you are receiving a positive return on investment. Now, how Google kind of fits in with this is we then go to look at what we call the Google ecosystem. And that's basically going to be every part of Google and how we kind of fit in the online marketing. Now, it's actually grown a lot since this, and there's a lot that's not listed here. But these are just kind of the ones that really primarily affect advertisers online. So you can see we have Google+, Google Search, and Gmail. These are all mediums that we can advertise on, as well as YouTube, which is one of YouTube is actually I believe it's the third largest search network on the planet right now. Okay, and then we also have methods where people can pay, which is Google Wallet, but the primary focus here is being able to do these things on mobile devices. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with the Google networks, the Google runs on a few different networks when you're advertising online. It does run on YouTube, where if you had videos, we could promote to your clients that way. It runs on a display network. It runs on this, which is anytime you'd see like a display ad. A good example of that is if you've ever been to weather.com. You can click on there, and there's going to be lots of advertisements and things like that. And then also, let me put my dot in here. Also, we have the search network, which are the traditional ads that you're probably used to seeing when you go to Google and you type in a search and you see the 3 ads at the top or the 8 running down the right side of the screen. And then there's other options to Google My Business and some different things as well that I know Steve or anybody there at ProspectsPLUS could answer for you if you had questions on those items as well. Now we're going to go ahead and skip some of these videos just for the sake of bandwidth because we have so many people online right now, but I believe those items are going to be, if I'm not mistaken, those are going to be sent over to you via email after the meeting. Okay, so customer intent. The relationship between online ads and online sales is fairly easy to understand, but what about online advertising and offline sales? You need to just think kind of in your life if any big purchase that you've ever done. Did you research that beforehand? Did you just go out and buy it because you thought it was pretty? I mean, think about what you would do in that situation. Typically, what we find is that users, when they're going to make a large purchase, they do a lot more research. We have a much more educated consumer base and user base online right now. So one of the things that Google can do is it kind of helps create a funnel, and there's different ways that this can be done. Where one, we can be targeting, of course, a specific audience, users who may come and look at your site and say, hey, I'd like to have that done. I would love for them to come down and look at my property. Or even think about experiences that you've had. How often have you gone to a site and said, I really like this item, I want to buy this, but I'm going to wait until this deal goes through, or I'm going to wait until after the holidays or whatnot, and you forget that website. There's other items that we can use, such as retargeting, which will basically target that audience that's visited your page, and those ads will follow that customer around. Because I know, especially from my personal experience, when I have visited a website and there was something I wanted to buy or a service that I thought I'd want to have done on my home, if I forget the website, it's really hard for me to find that again because you don't always remember the site, and a lot of times clearing your cache cookies and different things, you can't get your way back. So, okay, here's another video. As many as 88% of customers are researching items online before they buy it in a physical store. That's one of the most important reasons to be online right now. Is if you think about different companies, if you think about instances where you were researching a company, if that company doesn't have an online presence anymore, it's almost as if they don't exist. Because so many people, especially the younger generations, when they're looking at these at businesses to shop at or to that are going to have services provided, if you don't have an online presence where they can look at your reviews or they can see what other people are saying about you, a lot of times you'll never receive a call from that client. So this is just kind of a video that'll talk a little bit about that in the 0 moment of truth. Okay, so we've already touched a little bit on targeting. Creative is using different formats to tell your brand story. For example, I'm sure many of you may be familiar with, there was a web development company or web design company called Wix. When Wix first started, it's kind of a template system where you just drag and drop and do things. They don't make the greatest websites, but they make decent websites for starting out. When they first started, they really had no customer base because their systems were not what you would expect. They didn't have very many templates you can use. And so what they did is they started running YouTube advertising. And when they were running that YouTube advertising, it brought in enough clients where they then were able to have enough money to better develop their system. And now Wix is, I don't know exactly how large they are, but they're one of the larger, kind of homemade website companies out there. And then real-time control. If something comes up, life events happen, business events happen. If something comes up, you can change your budgets at any time. Now, of course, a lot of that depends on the type of packaging and whatnot that I'm sure you're going to be using with ProspectsPLUS, but the system itself allows you to pause and change budgets. So if you see that you're running a promotion and you see that promotion is bringing in a lot of customers, or you're receiving a lot of phone calls for estimates and different things, you can increase your budget while that promotion's going to basically reach a larger number of people to bring in more clients. So it's really nice that you have that kind of control, and you can always be making changes, and all those changes typically affect instantly, or if not within 24 hours. And then measurement. When you're running an online campaign and when you're wanting to measure the success, there's different things that you can look at, including how many times your ad has appeared versus how many times people have clicked on that. It would be something we call like a click-through rate. We can look at how many phone calls you received, how long those phone calls lasted, to help you kind of measure the quality of the phone calls that you received and the leads. There's any number of different things that we can look at to help you measure the success of your campaign. Okay, now the biggest benefit that we wanted to talk about today was utilizing online advertising, but also why, if you're going to do it, why you should do it through a Google partner. One, there's several different policies that Google has. Shouldn't say several, there's probably more like several thousand policies that Google has relating to online advertising. Now, in order to become a partner agency with Google, you have to be able to basically prove that you understand all of those thousands of things, because any one of those thousands of policies, if not followed, can cause your site to be shut down, can cause your AdWords account to be shut down or run incorrectly, and which could result in a loss of money. So that's why these practices are in place, is to make sure that these things don't happen. And that's why Google partner agencies, that's why we started the Partners program, is because there's a number of agencies, ProspectsPLUS being one of them, that has proven that they can help build out your campaign and ensure that you're not going to have erroneous spend, ensure that you're going to get the best results possible, and that you're following all best practices and policies that Google has in place. They can also assist with campaign optimization, which is over time search traffic changes, so it does take long-term management and support. And that's the type of research that they do, is they're able to go through and look at reports and discover where traffic is coming from, to see if maybe it's time for you to move your campaign to, for example, from a traditional desktop search campaign to move it to more of a mobile device, or to strictly move to a remarketing or retargeting, which you'll probably hear both of those throughout this conversation. They're kind of synonymous with each other. And the next step is education and training. They receive education and training directly from Google, so when new products do come out, it can be difficult for agencies that aren't partners to keep up with those items. So you do know that working with a Google partner, they receive training from Google directly here. So when a new product comes out, if it's something you're interested in, chances are they know about it and they can assist you with that. Got that one there. And that also goes into access to new tools. Being Google partners, Google, if you're familiar with anything that Google does, Google runs everything through beta. And I mean everything. I was here at the home office, we have the visitor center, and we moved it to a new building. So now the building for the next year will be titled the Google Visitor Center Beta. So I literally mean they beta everything. So part of the access to new tools is being a Google partner. Things that others don't have access to, they do. For example, it's something that is just now coming out, is a way to market to people through their Gmail accounts. If you have a Gmail account, you can go in there and you can see a promotions tab in the upper corner. If you click on that, you'll see that there's sales and promotions and different things like that from advertisers. That's something that is only available to Google partners right now. So there's just oh, sorry.
And Michael, that new Gmail advertising tool, you don't even need to have a person's Gmail account. You don't even need to have their email address. That is literally a advertisement that is sent to Gmail subscribers that match a demographic profile. Did you hear me? Michael? Michael, did you hear me? Am I losing him? See, I knew I should have been quiet. You know? Here, I'm going to see if we can get him back. Yeah.
Okay, are you there? Are you there?
Yes.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, sorry about that. Looks like it's having two systems on at one time. I didn't like it when somebody came on. Let me go back to the first version. I'll finish it.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so going back to what you said, that's correct. With the Gmail sponsored promotions, you don't need to have the person's email address. Whenever you search on any browser, it looks at the traffic that you're searching for. So, for example, if I'm a real estate agent and I'm looking for a lot of different real estate properties and whatnot, it's going to record that as an interest of mine, and it does that specifically so there can be recommendations made to you on certain sites, or advertisers can be in front of the correct people. So that way, if you're 16 and you're looking for video games, they're probably not going to be seeing your ads. So that's something that when we are working with your ads, that's one way we make sure that they get in front of the right people. And it's the same with Gmail. All right, and here's another video here, just another kind of success story talking about a small business that grew. This will be in one of the 3 videos that will be sent to you as well. And I love this picture. It's Woody Allen. 80% of success is just showing up, and that's becoming more and more true in the digital realm. Is, like I said earlier, if you don't have an online presence, to many people you just don't exist. So that's why we're working with our partner agencies, trying to let people know if you're not online, your chances of success dramatically drop. I know most of you are online. It's just a matter of how are you promoting your business? There's three real pillars to success in any small business starting out, and that's 1, having the speed to market; 2, being able to sell and having a knowledgeable sales staff for selling your product and knowing how to interact with your customers; and then lastly is maintaining those customers over the long term if that's part of your business model. So what we can help is AdWords can help you get in front of those customers and get that speed to market. We can go ahead and open up for questions. These are just some online statistics here over traffic and different things growing over the last.
So Michael, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
So why don't you talk a little bit more? Part of the program that has caught a lot of interest at the conference 2 weeks ago was retargeting. And
okay.
So can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, I can. So retargeting or remarketing, how that works is PostcardsPLUS are with, and I think I'm echoing a little bit, I'm not sure. But anyway, so on your actual web page, when a client goes and visits your web page, and I know that all of you are going to be like, oh, because this has probably happened to you. When you go to a website, or in this case, if a client went to your website, and they visit your site, there's a cookie that's on the back side of the computer, and all the cookie is it's a short-term data packet that can be installed on your computer within a split second, and it only lasts for a temporary period of time, typically for about 30 days. So what happens is when you visit a site, we can have your site implant that cookie on a person's computer, and it'll be there for 30 days, and that way when that person visits other sites, you can choose how often you want your ad to reappear to them.
Come on.
I'm sorry? Oh, okay. I think someone was asking.
Okay, Mike, you're good. And everybody who's on the Hangout, if you have a question, feel free to use the chat down at the bottom, and we'll get that question answered. Mike, let's talk about this. In the beginning of the presentation, you talked about targeting the right audience. One of the things that decorating and interior owners like to come to us for is our ability to zero in on prospects that have the highest propensity to buy or highest probability to convert into a lead. And we do that through database marketing. What I love about Google that is relatively recent in the past year is how diverse of the demographics profiles you have inside the platform. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so when you're doing your targeting, you can target as far down as, going with geo-targeting, you can target as far down as a zip code to a county. We can even target just a specific geological radius. So we would just identify a zip code, for example, and say I want to market only to people within 20 miles of this location. So we can market in that way all the way up to the global level. We can also, there's also some unique targeting ideas that we've tossed around before in the past. Typically, probably with design, a lot of your clientele are probably in a higher income bracket. We actually can target by income brackets or the average income level. And then we can even target based on neighborhoods. For example, if you know that one township or one city tends to have, that's where you're doing the majority of your business, we can geo-target that area, and then we can also, in addition, add targeting based on income level to make sure that you're even further targeting to that audience in that neighborhood, if that's the area that you want your business to grow in.
Michael, I've even seen, Steve and I have even explored personal interests. There's interest levels and activities that they participate in, prospects participate in on the new demographic breakdowns.
Correct, and there's several different types. So we can do by topics, so people who are looking for things related to that, related to interior design, or even as far as lighting design, or we can get pretty granular on those items. So we can do it by topics. We can do it by interest, and there's actually two ways to do it by interests. There's just your regular interest marketing, where you're looking at people who've shown an interest in that in the past, and then there's in-market audiences, which are people who have within the last, I believe it's last 30 days, have been actively seeking that type of service. And so we can specifically market to those people as well. You can actually custom lists as well if you decide that you're trying to target specifically to businesses who are looking at redesigning their office space. There are ways that we can create custom targeting affinity audiences.
So that's nice to hear. I didn't even know on the business side that we can do that, because again, I think a lot of the people that are participating in the new Postcards Plus program, we're migrating to marketing disciplines. We're taking postcard marketing along with targeted data, where we're mailing postcards to a very targeted list. And then if we can match to the best of Google's ability any of the demographics that we're mailing to in a retargeting campaign, for example, the people that have looked for lighting in the last 30 days, now all of a sudden when the spring promotion comes out or the quarterly promotion comes out, and the merchandisers have offered 20% discounts off of particular accessories or furniture, we can then build a postcard around that and launch that postcard into the target area, supported by Google's search capabilities.
Correct. Yeah, and that's usually what we try to encourage. So the model that you're describing right now is the ideal model for utilizing AdWords.
And what's nice about that is because we're leveraging the corporate site and the amount of visitors that the corporate site gets, the retargeting activates instantly, and anybody that does respond to any advertisement to the site, now we're able to retarget that person as well.
Now, specifically to recording metrics and data from your campaigns, I know we talked briefly about that before, but being more specific towards what you would encounter is, if you have a form on your site or on your landing page where when a client visits, or if we can direct a client there, if they click on your ad and they go to your page and then they fill out that form, for example, to ask you a question or to set up a time to meet or discuss any item relating to their interior design or their home decorating, then that would be what we would call a conversion. So that's going to be a trackable item where we would record it, and then we would want to come back at a later time and say, okay, so we're showing that we had 3 contacts or 3 clients contact you, or potential clients. What were the quality of those leads? And a lot of that is stuff that's important, because we can then adjust the campaign or adjust the mailing campaigns that you guys do. We can adjust to meet certain needs. If I create an ad for you guys, or if somebody creates an ad for you and we're not being clear enough, where a person contacts and says, yeah, I'm looking for this, well, they may have been able to get that idea from our ad, and if it's something you don't offer, then that's something that we can adjust. So it's very important that it's a collaboration rather than just do this for me. So it's really important. That's one of the reasons why I know that PostcardsPLUS in general is a partner, is because of the relationship that they have with you, and that's why they've been so successful.
Yeah, I think, Mike, what's important to know that one of the key elements to our relationship with Decorating Den for the last 8 years has been bringing to market done-for-you programs. And I think that was the big the popular adoption philosophy at the last conference is we're talking about all of this Google stuff, and I know it can be confusing at times, and some people are more savvy than others. By being a partner and then having Steve on board as our Director of Digital Marketing, we're able to set these mailing campaigns as well as the tied-in Google ad campaigns so that they run automatically, and that every owner doesn't have to worry about setting it all up, managing it, monitoring it. I mean, it's literally going to be 100% done for them. So for the non-savvy people, you can still leverage the power of the Google system and the Google ad campaigns. But for the people that do want to be involved, that are more savvy, you'll also have that ability to do that too. So I mean, I think the big benefit of what I'm hearing out of you, Mike, is that if at whatever times something pops up in the business, you're able to adjust promotions to demographics, to different customer profiles, different types of promotions. And then when you combine that with digital printing, where it's printed on demand in less than 24 hours, it becomes a nice real-time, adjust on the fly type of ad campaign based on what's going on in your business at that point in time. So it can be as interactive as you want it to be, or as automated as you want it to be.
Correct. And yeah, where I was trying to go with that was, because you've worked with them for so long, you know the clientele, you know their products, you know their services. So being able to qualify the leads there is going to be a lot easier for you to do.
Yeah, and I think what's nice too is that prior to launching this new program and really introducing the relationship with Google, we spent a good 3 months testing and optimizing a lot of these campaigns, so that we've done a lot of the hard work and the due diligence on the front end, and we did it all on our money. We did it all on our dime so that we could figure out what works and what doesn't work, and now we've got a nice little set of Decorating Den interiors best practices that literally we can flip on at literally a click of a switch or a click of a mouse. So, hey, I got a question for you. How do you talked about telling their story. How do you recommend they tell their story? That was a lot of these owners that are joining us today, they all have great stories, and I think a lot of times when you're talking about a relationship with an interior design company, and more importantly, the interior designer, knowing who that is and knowing that person's story is really something that's is popular among their customer base. How do you recommend we do that through Google?
Well, there's several different ways you can do that. I know if you go to a lot of sites, you can see like 360 views and things like that. Taking something like that and turning that into, for example, a YouTube campaign, that's a great opportunity to tell your story. Another very common way, and probably going to be one of the more successful ways for designers, would be through just imagery and talking, showing the work that you've done, talking about, if you do a free consultation, talking about those things. I mean, with design, a lot of the proof kind of is in the pudding, as I like to say. I mean, it's showing that the work that you're capable of doing tells a huge amount of your story. But in any type of your ads, family owned, you're only given a limited amount of space. But for example, where I live, I like to shop locally. So when I see in an advertisement that it is a local business and they have a brick and mortar, even if I'm ordering online, I like to support local businesses. And there's a lot of people out there like that. So you can, just by putting in a few words or a few little modifications to your display ads or little bits here and there inside your campaign, you can tell enough of a story to, it's almost like like anything else really, as long as you can have enough there to generate interest where they want to know more, that's what we're looking to do. So you just want to tell enough of your story to draw interest.
No, one good idea, because YouTube is owned by Google, if anybody hasn't any success stories setting up a YouTube channel, and when you're finished with rooms, or even doing before and after type videos where you can show a room or a home before you start and run some video footage, and literally we're talking about on an iPhone or a smartphone here, where you can run the footage on these high def pixel phone cameras and upload that footage to YouTube. We could send both Google ads and retargeting campaigns as well as postcard marketing to your YouTube channel, so now that they see your work being done both before and after, and sometimes video and getting to know you through the video and the rooms that you've done that way is a lot more beneficial or more reinforcement to just print. So that would be a nice little tie-in.
Yeah, exactly. And there's other tools that are outside of Google too. I mean, I know that there's Etsy and Pinterest and stuff like that where you can show examples of your work and stuff. I know Etsy's kind of more of a buy site, but there's lots of resources out there that can all contribute into your story, and you can share all of that and communicate with your prospective audience through other items like Google+. So.
Do we have? I'm looking at okay, here we go. Patrice, could we target customers who are searching specifically the high-end furniture, i.e. Brand names like Century Furniture, Hunter Douglas, versus those who are looking for a deal or as inexpensive as possible? So is there ways to do targeting on keywords for specific high-end furniture brands?
Yeah, through keywords, or we can even set up, if we were to run that through like display or image ads, we could run that with keywords, or we could run that with audiences and then use, like we could put in an audience, for example, as furniture, and then we could use negative keywords, which then the system doesn't allow your ads to show if those keywords are included, to help better narrow that. So that way, if you have similar type names and things like that, we can target that to reach the correct audience. Yes.
You touched on the word negative keyword. Can you explain that concept in layman's terms?
Yeah. So if, for example, say that I'm looking for Nike running shoes, okay, then I would want to make Nike running shoes my keyword. Okay. Now, if I only want or if I don't want to look at anything but blue, or if I only sell, I should say, blue Nike running shoes, then I can use negative keywords with other colors, black and orange and green and all the other colors. That way, if somebody is looking for a specific color, it's not going to take them to my page. It's kind of it'd be a rare situation for that, but just kind of put it in simple forms. There's also different types of keyword modifiers that you can use. I'm not going to go too much into that because it can get kind of complicated. But where we can specifically look for a type of phrase, or if you know that somebody might be looking for a specific item like that piece of furniture, you can use an exact match where only if they type in these words will your ad appear. Not if they're using it in a phrase, or not if it was something about this or whatnot. Only if they type in this words in this order will it appear. And that's ways that we can utilize to get you lower costs and different things like that, using longer keywords, something that ProspectsPLUS is really good with.
So, again, going back to those quarterly promotions, or if you're looking to promote a specific brand or a specific furniture piece or a specific accessory or product, we can tie those postcard campaigns and the Google campaign into that.
Yeah, for example, another really good example would be, people who are looking for Oakley's sunglasses. We do advertising for them. So one of the things that we exclude on their keywords is there's a lot of people that sell fake glasses. So negative keywords that we use would be like faux or fake or forged, or different terms like that we would use under negatives. And that's really where the better targeting comes in, and that's something that's overlooked pretty frequently.
Okay. What other questions do we have? I know we have a lot of people on here, so if you could type your question into the chat, that'd be great.
If you want, I can continue with this. This is just a report that I pulled. This is something that partners have access to on a regular basis. So this would be something, for example, that they could pull in as traffic changes. And this one's specifically related to interior design. I'm just going to go through it real quickly. I'm not going to go into any detail on it. This report just basically helps educate our partners as to, for your specific industry, where your search traffic is coming. And I just get past my page. So, for example, in Q1 of 2015, queries grew by 15% in the interior design and home decorating category, and this is where they grew or declined. Desktop queries declined by 4%, while mobile queries grew by 61%, and tablet searches grew by 3% year over year in the same period. So this information right here is crucial to when they're designing and building out your campaign and coming back to you and showing you results. And right now we can see that they grew by 61% on mobile devices, and a lot of that comes from what we talked about earlier on in the presentation with the development and advancements in smartphones and other things like that. So it doesn't look like all my stuff is appearing here. I think it's part of my system guide, but there's some graphs, and I'll make this available where they can send it to you as well after the presentation. This will just go over like average costs year over year, how many clicks you can expect year over year, and from the different devices and auction metrics and things like that. So I'll make this available to them, so if you do want to copy this, just let them know, and they can get that over to you as well.
Yeah, this is excellent data. What's interesting about that growth, 61% mobile, as we build out the Postcards Plus campaigns, where we're linking the postcards with the Google retargeting, we can activate it so that it only shows on mobile devices. So if it's a negative 4% on the desktop devices, let's not waste any time, money, effort, etc. on the desktop device. Let's spend all of our money and time on the mobile device. So real quick, before we get out of here, I just want to go over a brief overview of what this new program is that we've launched with our partnership with Google. Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
All right, I have presented whichever you have left.
I think we're working on it right now. We got it.
Okay.
Yes, let everyone know to click on this. Okay. So if everybody can click on the Steve icon. Do you see the Postcards Plus, Direct Mail Plus Google? Somebody could just send me a quick chat message on the right-hand side. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Pam. So basically what we've done, everybody, is for the longest time we've done we feel, an excellent job at providing the owners with a very targeted postcard campaign, and what we've been pretty good at it is getting those necessary 3 to 7 impressions that you need for people to really know who you are and what you do. The caveat that we've always run into is that when you've probably heard us talk about the 3-7-27 law of branding. When it starts to get into the 27 and plus impressions that people need to see you, that's so that they really start to trust who you are and trust you to do business with them. And we've always had a challenge getting to those 27 plus impressions through direct mail because it becomes cost prohibitive. Well, now by combining direct mail with Google and the amount of impressions that you can get in the Google system, now you've got a very, very powerful tool that can really start to establish your brand with what you do. So we broke it down 3 ways. It starts with the data. As you guys know, if you've been customers of ours, we've got the 3 databases that sit on our servers. After doing business with Decorating Den for 8 years, we know exactly who the customer profile is. We've looked at the response data on a local level, as well as we've worked with corporate on the national level, because corporate obviously tracks all of the closed sales. We can look at those closed sales, we can run them through our customer profiling analytics, and it'll spit back to us exactly who your customer profile is. And we're talking about, the traditional ages, the incomes, length of residence, how long they live there. But then you get into interests and lifestyle patterns. So now we can take that data, and instead of you trying to figure all that out with a difficult algorithm, we take that data in your service area and we locate the people that match that profile. So now when we're mailing a postcard, we can mail to the top 500 people in your zip code that have a highest probability to buy. So then the next step is, after we've identified the data, you may have seen these types of postcards before. These postcards were built off of the Next Generation Market Dominator program that we launched last year. They're all built on 10 the best practices of postcard marketing. I mean, literally, the people in this room, Andy, Christian, and I, we sat down last June or July, around there. We looked at the Market Dominator. We said, this thing's working, but how do we improve it? So we went through literally a full day session to where we came up with 10 best practices. Literally, here they are right here. I can just show them to you in the picture. But these are our 10 best practices right here that we go through. And we built these postcards. Doesn't matter what size you use, they're all different sizes based on your budget. But every single one of those is built on the 10 best practices, and they're also built on an online platform so that anytime you want to go in and change the postcard, whether it's an image, whether it's an offer, let's say a quarterly promotion comes out, you want to match your Google ad with your postcard, boom, you can change it out instantly, and that's what we mail out. It's all done for you. So then lastly, you go to the third part. This is very nice, and this is where our partnership has really come into play, is we'll launch keyword and retargeting display ads in your service area where we send the postcards. Not only can we launch them in that particular service area, but if you have other service areas that you want to launch these display ads in, we can do that too. So now what's happening is you've got 500 of the top buyer prospects getting an actual physical postcard. Then you have this blanket Google ad campaign that's occurring in your service area and in ancillary service areas with your display ads flashing on pages like YouTube and Better Homes and the Weather Channel. So that's constantly popping up as they search for different websites. And the nice thing about the program, especially with the Google, is it gives you 100% tracking. So I'll show you that on the next slide. We ran some beta tests with Jennifer Manley down in Fort Worth, and this first program right here, we just ran some ads, some display ads using the words professional decorator. And within a 45-day period, we had 10,574 views to Jennifer's website with 60 people that clicked through. So, and we only spent $38.66 to do it. And it's hard to see a little bit, but if you look at the bottom left-hand side, those little graphs down there, it actually shows you the types of demographics of people that viewed the display ad and that clicked through. So now we can take those display ad demographics and we can tie them back to the mailing information. So now you're targeting people that have actually looked at the ad. So if we go to the next ad, we then ran a second ad that had a free interior design plan, because Decorating Den's huge value proposition is complimentary design services. So we ran a free interior design plan as the ad on the display, and we increased the views by 2,000. But more importantly, through that particular campaign alone, just by changing up the keyword in the display ad, we had double the response. So, and when you look at the response that we did get, when you compare them to the industry average, that's 4 times what the industry average produces. So what's nice about this is that now we can take this data that we've already proven to work, and we can apply the exact same ads to your campaign in your service area. So now you've got a complete target market, postcard, and Google campaign to support both your offline and your online marketing. What's also nice about the Google programs is that if anybody responds to any of your advertising on your website, literally anything, not just the postcards, but if you're running a magazine ad, or if you're doing a local newspaper, neighborhood newspaper, and somebody logs onto your site, the display ads will activate, and they will literally follow that person around the web. We've all had it done to us. We go click on a pair of shoes that we like, and all of a sudden you start to see those shoes and everywhere you go. So it's we had a question come up. The free interior design plan or complimentary consultation. We just tested the free interior design plan as the ad. But we certainly are open to testing the complimentary consultation too. And we've got some specific strategies on how to use display ads. Display ads are very different than traditional marketing. They have to be quick. They have to be concise. But we've got all the best practices. We're not looking for you guys to have to do anything with this. At the end of the day, it's a 100% done for you program. Literally, you sign up for the program. It's 500 postcards a month. The average cost on a postcard, jumbo-sized postcard, is about 97 cents. So you're going to spend somewhere between $450 to $500 a month, and that includes both the postcard campaign and all of your AdWords and retargeting campaigns on the back end. So we've built the cost of the Google program into your campaign. So when you look at $65.12. That's not on top of your postcards. It's all included into one price. So real quick, and we'll go ahead and get out of here. At the conference, we went ahead and we gave a special on this program. Normally, it costs you $395 to set the program up. It's only $195. Right now, we're in the middle of getting all of our conference people set up, so we can leverage some efficiencies with that. Michael's ready on his end to get his side set up. So if you want to participate in the program, it's $195 to set up. You get $100 worth of Google ads on top of that Google's throwing in on your first month. And again, your average cost that you need to budget is somewhere between $450 and $500 a month for the campaign. So if you want to get involved in the program, go ahead and you can give Andy a call or Christian a call, and they can get you set up. Right now we're in the middle of doing all of this, but if you have any other questions, you can put them in the chat. But We're running about 55 minutes right now, and we promised an hour, so we've got time for a couple more questions. Okay. So that's an overview of the relationship and the partnership with Google and Opportunity Knocks. We're super excited about it, being it's our best product ever. We're aligned with one of the best companies in the world. You can see the big value that we have of being a partner at this point. And we're still learning a lot too ourselves, but we wanted to open it up to decorating den, interiors. This is the first customer base that we're releasing this product to before we go public with it. So we hope you take advantage of it. It's the best thing we've ever done in terms of being able to target prospects in your service area, both online and offline. Thank you so much for attending. Thanks, Andy and Christian and Steve, for being here. Michael, thank you very much. We will document the questions. We'll get them out to you, and we'll also get those videos out to you, as well as the analytics that Michael briefly went over. So if you have any questions, call our office. Again, at the end of the day, the program is designed to be done for you. You don't have to worry about anything. We're going to do all the work, but if you do want to do some work and you want to be involved, you can do that too. It's up to you, however you want to do it. We know that you guys like to focus on being creative and growing your business and getting out there and hustling and designing beautiful rooms.